Hey guys, Jobin here. I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you some cool stuff that a viewer and customer sent me. We were talking on email and he was sending in some knives for me to do some work on. Here they are right here actually. Let me talk about these real quick. This is a Ontario Rat 1. This knife got talked about quite a bit a few years back. It was popular. You don't see as much mention of it now, but it's still, just based on my initial impressions, a very solid recommendation for a practical, versatile knife. It's got a very, very comfortable handle, classic blade shape, and it's very well made. And I think these go for under 30 bucks. It's kind of hard not to put these on any short list of recommendations from what I've seen so far. And this guy here, which I've never handled before either, it's a Spyderco Native. It's one of those knives where I'd seen the specs, but it was a little smaller than I expected. Not quite sure why. Sort of reminds me of a slightly butcher Delica, maybe. Although I guess probably the shape is overall closer to a mini Mannix or something like that. But it's kind of a neat little blade. I like it. But anyway, the gifts, this guy, Dave, I'll just use his first name, the stuff Dave sent me, he said he saw one of my videos on my lighter collection, and he said he had some he wasn't doing anything with, and wanted to send them on to me. Would I be interested? I said, sure, that would be fantastic. So let's go take a look at them. These first two, at first glance might not be anything too special, but he said they're from a short-lived beer brand, Bad Frog Beer. Picture of a frog on them. But they do have an interesting feature that I don't think I've ever seen on a disposable lighter before. They stay lit until you hit that little red button. Thought that was kind of cool. Then we have, here's a Winston branded lighter. No bowl. Oh, Winston. But this is a really nice piece. It's basically the general Zippo body plan, where you've got the hinged case and the insert with the chimney, the flint wheel, the lid spring, all that good stuff. But it is really, really well made. It's the precision with which the lid fits onto the case is really nice, probably better than any of the Zippos I've handled. And it would be very nice to carry in your pocket because it's slim, a little bit more compact than an average Zippo, and all the corners are extremely rounded. I like it. You got this little guy here, Camel, and it is again basically the Zippo plan. It looks kind of like it's just the insert, right? Well, what it is basically it just doesn't have the lid. There's the insides with the flint wheel there, or the flint tube with the spring, and all the cotton or whatnot to hold the fuel. And what it has is a little sort of minimalistic lid with just a little projection that covers the flint wheel, and this tube that goes down inside the chimney and directly covers the wick. This is really kind of interesting. I'm out of Zippo style fluid right now, so these appear to spark, but I haven't actually run them yet. Anyway, that's kind of neat too. And he also sent me this, which kind of cool. Some Tinder quick tabs. And you guys might know where this is going. A scraper. And in the little capsule is a Tinder Quick tab and a really tiny fire steel. So this is cool. This is a really neat idea. I'm not quite sure what the scraper is made out of. It almost feels like, well, it's metal, but it almost feels like a super smooth, fine emery board. Wonder if that's what it is. I don't know. But that's a cool little emergency fire starter gadget there. I like that idea. Got this here, which I wasn't expecting at all. He didn't tell me he was going to be sending this. I don't think, unless I'm remembering wrong. It's a 50 caliber cartridge. You can see from the dimpled primer there, it's been fired. The bullet's been loosened, comes out. Guys, this thing is heavy. I weighed this. This weighs 1.6 ounces. That's terrifying. Especially with as much powder as could be in here behind it. This, by the way, is a link for a machine gun belt. It said this thing dates back to the 1940s. So it's vintage. I don't think I've ever handled one of these up close before. It's a really neat thing to have. So yeah, this is going on my desk, a little conversation piece. And probably actually my favorite thing though, I saved to last. Probably ironically after a lot of the viewers of this video have gone on to something else. You guys ever, if you have channels, you guys ever look at the track of viewers sustained over time? It tends to go down linearly, at least on my videos. You know, you start out with a certain number of videos, and it just trails downward as the minutes go on. But anyway, this is another lighter, and I'm gonna try to look up and learn about this because this is really cool, and I've never even seen one of these before. Little smooth-sided case. On the bottom it says Thorin's patent, Fab sooooo, Switzerland. And right here, with this little bail on it, that's the fill port. So you undo that and you put your fluid in there. Here's the plug. If you're very sharp-eyed, you might be saying, hey, that looks a little big. What's up with that? Well, you're right. This is one of the really cool things about this lighter. This section is also threaded, and inside the cap, there's a compartment for a spare flint. Isn't that awesome? So let's put that back on there so we don't lose it. Okay, so how does this thing work? Well, I just noticed some writing there I hadn't seen before. It says Fab sooooo again. Got the name on the, got some writing on the hinge right there. So there's the hinge. There's a little set screw there for something inside. And there's that. And the cap is locked down. So what do? Well, this is also threaded. And it can be turned down like that. Nothing happens. But if you wind it out, it becomes a button. Isn't that awesome? Again, I don't have fluid, but it appears to work. It gets a decent spark. It's fully automatic. You push the button, cap opens, and it sparks. And if you don't want to to worry about it popping open in your pocket with stuff jingling around in there. You screw it down, the whole thing's locked down. Won't open. That is one of the coolest little mechanisms I've ever seen on a lighter. Inside here we got, there's the wick, flint wheel. That part sticking up there, I believe, is essentially the flint tube. And you see that spring right there, that torsion spring. It's pushing the flint down onto the wheel. And this hinge here has some bars running off it, which I imagine must basically cock the wheel mechanism for when it opens. It is a really neat little piece. I am thrilled with this. This is great. Dave, thank you so much for all this stuff. I'm going to start working on your knives real soon. I think I'm mostly caught up on the jobs that are in before them. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Look at some cool new stuff I'm happy with. And as always, remember where your knife is.